Hello, grade 10. We are going to do radio button components now. This is on page 98. And we're going to do example 5.7. We'll go through this and explain the radio button components to you. Hopefully you will learn something. So we're going to place a radio button on the form, a radio button component. Right, so now we can either use one radio button or a radio group box. We're actually going to do both. So here's a form. It's not a proper program, it's just to explain things. So we find a radio button in standard, we click on it and go and pluck it on the form, and then we need a radio group box, and we go and draw a radio group box. Now there's nothing in the radio group box, so we're going to have to go and put items there. So we click on the radio group box and we go to the items property, and then we can go and add lines. Okay, but before we do that, we're going to follow the instructions here, creating a group of radio buttons over here. Okay, we can have the thing with radio group boxes, okay, with radio buttons. If I click a radio button, I put one there, I put another one there, okay. So I've got 3, and if I run this program, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to try and click on them all. Nope, nope, only one can be clicked on, only one at a time of those 3. So it doesn't matter how many you have on the form of the radio buttons, individual ones, you can only click on one. And same with the radio group box, you can only click one in a group. So let's go and see this instruction, creating a group. Okay, so we get our radio group, set the name property to RGP gender, right? So radio group box, there it is, name RGP gender. There it is. So the name is there, but there's no, the caption is not changed. Change the radio group box caption to appropriate name, call it gender. So I'm going to click on the radio group box, go to the caption property and call it gender. There we go. So now the caption's different to the name. Okay, select the radio group component, go to items, and in the string list editor we're going to put male and female. Fine, so we click on there, go to the items property, click the 3 little dots over there, and then we're going to put in female and male, and then we click OK. Now we've got 2 radio buttons there. Right, so we have those. Okay, so the item index is set to -1 when no buttons are selected. If the item index is 0, then the first button is already selected. If the item index is 1, then the second button is selected. Okay, so that is how you actually do this. So we are going to create a group of radio buttons. There's a guided activity over here, and we will see this activity, and I think it's best if you do this tomorrow in class, where we're going to load a picture from file, etc., etc. Now, just to demonstrate how radio group buttons work, if you run your program, and then I'm going to click on a radio button here, and I'm going to click one there. Can you see I can click on those 2 because this radio group box is separate to the rest of the form. But if I try and click any of those, I can only click one, and I can only click one of these. Now, if you want to set the radio group, see, this is a radio group box, and I'm not going to play with those. Okay, we'll just use the radio group box for now. If I'm going to set the item index to -1, so I'm going to get a button, click. Okay, and we'll say RGP gender dot item index. If I set it to 0, equal to 0, what do you think is going to happen? This item index is the item number that has been selected. And I've set it to 0. We're going to see, and I'm going to click that button. Look there. So that is item index 0, is female. If I set the item index to 1, I'll use another button to do that. So I'm going to take my code, RGP gender.item index, and I'll set it to 1. And I'm sure you can guess what will happen. Run the program, and I'm going to click the other button. You see male is now selected. Just to demonstrate that the item index is the property of the graded group box that we use to see which one is selected. And if I want the item index to be nothing, I don't want anything to be selected, so I'll say RGP gender.item index equals -1. So if I do that, then, and I click on that one, see that's 0, that's 1. -1 means it's cleared it. Now you need to know this is very important, and you need to know how to use the item index thing. So if you want to read to see what did the user choose there, you're going to do the following. You're going to say if RGP gender.item index equals 0, then we're going to have, let's say, S gender equals female. See? And then if item index, if RGP gender.item index equals 1, then S gender will be male. And what are we going to do with S gender? Let's say we'll display it somewhere, So, we can, just doing a hypothetical program here to show you, you go and check to see what the item index is, and then you can do something appropriate for that one. I'm going to put a label here. So there's my label, label 1. I'm going to say label 1 dot caption equals S gender. Of course, S gender is not being declared, and there should be a red underline, colon string. Should be a red underline there. Okay. But there wasn't, because my computer doesn't show errors on things. Because I had a previous version of Delphi, I had the community edition installed here, and as a result, my proper edition, 2010, doesn't want to work properly, even though I uninstalled the other one completely. Anyway, run the program. Let's see what happens. Okay, I click that button, that one's selected, that button, and that one's selected. That one is nothing. So I click on one, and then I want to go click this button to see. Can you see it's displaying male? I click on that one, and I click my display button, and it's displaying female. So it's reading the item index of your radio group box. And the item index property is an integer, and you must remember that for your activity. And tomorrow we will do, on Monday should I say, we will do big activity on, what is it, tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry. Monday. We'll do a big activity for the radio buttons. Right. And have a good weekend and keep safe.